Call of Duty is easily one of the most popular video game series in history. From the OG World at War that brought zombies to the world, to the many versions of the Modern Warfare series, from Black Ops 1 to Cold War and everything in between. The series, for better or worse, has been a cornerstone of gaming culture for decades. Once placed on a pedestal as all that was wrong with modern gaming, DLCs, no single-player campaigns, online multiplayer only, microtransactions and battle passes, Call of Duty has seen and done it all. But a recent update to its older titles might just be the stim shot to the arm we need. Proof that sometimes releasing new games isn't the be-all and end-all. Proof that you don't always have to remaster or remake a game for it to be relevant to modern audiences. Sometimes all it takes is making them available to play. So, in the wake of the Activision Blizzard sale to Microsoft seemingly getting the go-ahead, is Call of Duty actually the new poster boy for backwards compatibility and keeping old game servers alive? So why are we talking about this now? Well, recently a bunch of older Call of Duty titles seem to have had some completely unexpected and completely unannounced work done to their servers that made them 1,000 times more stable and safe to play on than they've been for years. And the reaction was, well, it was pretty positive. Reports suggest thousands of people were online over the weekend playing the likes of Infinity Ward's Modern Warfare 3, which came out in 2011, and Treyarch's Black Ops 2, which came out in 2012. Even COD 4 Modern Warfare, all the way back from 2007, saw a boost to its player pool as players suited up to dive into the nostalgia fest of old COD lobbies now that they were playable again. Well, on Xbox at least. Matchmaking servers for these games on PC and PlayStation are apparently just as problematic for player security and stability as they've been for a while, at least according to player reports. So Microsoft's old consoles are the place to be for your classic FPS nostalgia hit right now. And if you wanted yet more proof that the gamers of today yearn for the adventures of old, look no further than the COD community over the last few days. As word spread that stable online play for these classics was finally available, thousands of fans ended up jumping in. These older Call of Duty games included online player counters, and while quite a few of them seem to have been throwing ridiculous numbers up in error, they did at least provide some decent insight into where players were hoping to drop in. Just over last weekend alone, a concurrent high of 10,000 players jumped onto Black Ops 2 to relive Call of Duty's golden age. Modern Warfare 2 racked up around 7,000, and we were able to find a game in the middle of the day in less than 20 seconds. Even the likes of Black Ops 1 were pulling in some serious numbers, even if the 100,000 concurrent players it claimed it had turned out to be a bug. And according to COD page Modern Warzone, the combined total of concurrent players on Modern Warfare 2, Black Ops 2 and other Xbox 360 games has now surpassed the player count for Halo Infinite and Battlefield 2042 combined. Which is ridiculous considering these games are literally over a decade old, competing with games that are still now actively being supported. So we know there's been a sudden spike. But why do these games still hold such sway over our hearts, and what does this all mean? Well, you can read into numbers and player counts as much as you like, but if anything, this is a clear signal from one of the biggest communities in the gaming world that backwards compatibility, game availability, and keeping servers alive is more worthwhile than many game industry higher-ups would probably like to believe. Old Call of Duty games like Black Ops 1, Modern Warfare 2, Black Ops 2 and Modern Warfare 3 are the top-selling games on Xbox after the matchmaking fixes went through. It helps that the games are on sale, and there's definitely renewed interest in COD on Xbox because of the Activision Blizzard deal, but clearly the backwards compatibility of Xbox, playing Xbox 360 all the way through to Xbox Series X games on the same console, has had an impact on the amount of players who are able to just dust off their old discs and boot up the games on their newer consoles. And if they do eventually get added to Game Pass, as most people are expecting, COD games will be flying the flag for keeping old games in their original forms, or as close as humanly possible anyway, alive. To be honest, I never really thought Call of Duty would be the series to kind of accidentally come out swinging for game preservation and reignite the argument that all consoles and games made by the same company should be backwards compatible with each other. Looking at you, PS4 and PS5, but you know, here we are. Clearly, there's an appetite among players to revisit these older games and play out the lobbies and maps they remember from times gone by. And if these games are outperforming newer titles that claim to be doing a better job of presenting a multiplayer FPS experience than classic COD games, namely Halo and Battlefield, but even the newer Call of Duty titles could learn a thing or two from this, then maybe it's time to talk about whether abandoning old servers to slowly die due to lack of support and security, or even worse, shut them down completely as soon as a new game comes out, is actually the right thing to do for game developers. Not just from a moral or games preservation standpoint, as important as that is, and to be fair, some in the industry have got better at that over the years, but even from a basic business perspective. Money talks, as the saying goes. The question is whether the people in charge will actually listen to what the players are saying. And if you love Call of Duty as much as we do, you should check out this video on the latest Modern Warfare 3 leaks.